Hello, guys. This is Lawrence, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the host of the Trialagrand podcast, Usapan Triathlon. My next guest is one of the famous Filipino cyclists in UAE. I believe, and in my own opinion, he is the strongest, fastest cyclist in Middle East. And he's a young guy. He's only 18 years old. He grew up in Dubai and currently staying and studying in Spain. At the same time, riding in one of the federated team in Spain. He won a lot of races in Dubai, and he also beat a lot of international players who are based in Dubai. Last year, pumunta siya sa Philippines upang mag-race at nanalo bilang the champion for the individual time trial for the National Time Trial Championship in Philippines. And he was hoping that somehow kapag nanalo siya noon, he will represent Philippines as a national athlete. But unfortunately, hindi nangyari yun. So, yeah, we talk about his journey, how he became a good cyclist, paano siya nag-umpisa, ano yung mga achievement niya, ano yung mga technique niya, how he was able to have a very good uh, time trial position. Also, we talk about his experience racing in Philippines, and I would like to present you Lance Lumanlan.
Hello, everyone. This is Lawrence, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the host of the Trialagrand podcast, Usapan Triathlon, Swim, Bike, and Run. As you can see, triathlon is composed of swim, bike, and running. So any person who likes to run, bike, or to swim is welcome to be a guest dito sa podcast na to. And right now, I am so excited na i-present sa inyo ang isa sa pinaka, I would say, malakas na young athlete na naka-base sa Dubai before na nakikita ko when I was there. Right now, he's studying sa Spain as a high school student. At the same time, he's a member of, so it's a cycling federal team sa Spain. And I would like to present you right now. His name is Lance Lumanlan. And Lance, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so happy na makasama ka. And yeah,
Thank you po.
Sa mga hindi nakakilala, si Lance po ang nanalo ng time trial individual for a junior elite last year sa Philippines. And he's here to share his experience. And both nung nag-race siya sa Philippines, at the same time, yung mga experience niya racing in Europe. All right, Lance, welcome to my channel, and yeah, I'll give you a time para magpakilala sa mga audience natin.
Thank you po. So sa mga hindi po sa mga people po who doesn't recognize me, pangalan ko po si Lance Andrew Lumanlan, taga Philippines po. And I've been based in Dubai for around 15 years now with my family. And so yeah, this is my first year here living in Spain. And yeah, and I'm 18 years old, and yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So right now, Lance, I just have a question. Yung pangalan mo bang Lance ay nanggaling kay na-inspired yung tatay mo na ipangalan sa'yo, si Lance Armstrong?
So yeah, a lot of people who's a fan of cycling, inask na yung tanong na yan sa akin paulit-ulit. And the answer is yes.
Okay.
It might seem like a coincidence, but yes, my father is a big fan of Lance Armstrong, and yeah, he named me after him.
Kailan ka nag-umpisa mag-cycling? When you say mag-umpisa, kasi everyone knows how to bike. Pero I want to know kung kailan ka nag-start as an avid cyclist na nag-ride or nag-group ride every weekend?
Well, I think I started cycling, if I can remember correctly, around 13, 12 or 13. And at that year as well, doon din ako nag-start mag-compete. Pero not in a lot of races. because the very first race that I have raced was the Spinneys Dubai 92, which a lot of people in Dubai know that race. It's one of the biggest races in amateur races in Dubai. So
And it's UCI affiliated, right?
yeah, correct. Pero yung sinasalihan ko po ng dati, yung junior ride, because hindi pa ako eligible nun yung para sa elite men. So yeah, doon ako lagi sinasabak ng race ng daddy ko. And yeah, after that, I really got into it. Tapos nag-join ako ng club it's called Al Nasser Club. So nag-join ako doon. The year after, I think I was 14. And then I started doing a lot of federation races. And that's really how I got into the sport.
Okay, sa mga hindi nakakilala about Al Nasser Cycling Club, that's one of the biggest cycling clubs sa Dubai, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So ngayon, so when you say you started somewhere around 13, 14 or 12, 13, nakita mo na ba yung potential mo na somehow you will really be good at it, or like ano yung process noon? Pinilit ka ba ng tatay mo, or kasi ako bilang isang triathlete, I always wanted that hopefully my kids will be an athlete like me. Like right now, tinuturuan ko sila mag-swim. I always encourage them, sana magduatlon kayo. If you don't want to swim, pwede kayong mag-biking or something like that. So ano yung process nun na you say, okay, I see that I have the potential, and then later on parang nagustuhan mo na?
Yeah, it was a very long process. I mean, nung start pa lang ako noon, it was mainly for exercise purposes. I mean, growing up, yung family ko, especially my dad, he really influenced the family to be healthy and to always do exercise. And I remember because yung main sport ko dati talaga noon is actually karate, which is so martial arts. Tapos I remember nag-stop na ako noon, and then for like a year or two, so I wasn't really doing any exercise. So sabi nung dad ko, so ginamit ko yung bike ng mom ko noon. Tapos lagi niya lang ako exercise sa bike, sa indoor trainer. So hindi niya pa ako pinapalabas noon. So 1 hour every day.
And 1 hour every day. Yun yung parang ano mo
And I used to hate it, to be honest.
So when you say 1 hour every day, parang that's a daily house chore na re-required ka ng dad mo.
Yes,
just to be fit.
Well, that's what I felt like. Yeah, na parang I had to do it, I wasn't really a fan of it in the beginning. Tapos yun, well,
and
actually,
just a question, during that time is just a normal trainer, or you're already using Swift?
Oh, no. Wala pa kaming alam, kahit yung daddy ko wala pang alam nung indoor trainer or yung Zwift, yung bastang rollers, yung lang po, fluid trainer lang po.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, but what really motivated me is my dad and my cousin. So me and my cousin was very competitive back then, and he really used to do a lot of cycling back then. So lagi ko lang goal is na maging mas malakas sa kanya. So talagang nung after that, nag-ensayo talaga ako hanggang naging addicted na rin po ako talaga doon, kasi I feel like cycling is a very addictive sport for a lot of people. So yeah, when I got into that, slowly na akong pinasali ng daddy ko sa group rides, every weekend. Hanggang sa yun na lang talaga ako noon, nag-progress na nag-progress. Pero nung very first few races ko po talaga, as in, I would say one of the people who's almost in the last place.
And yun yung first experience mo during...
Yeah, nung sinali po ako sa Al Nasser Club, doon ko po talaga natutunan yung first what really racing was like. Kasi yung mga Spinneys sometimes po fun ride lang yun eh. So tuwing December lang po yun. Pero nung sinali po ako nung daddy ko sa Al Nasser Club, kasi may contact po siya doon sa manager doon. Close friends po sila. So yun, sinabi lang po ng daddy ko na isali mo po yung anak ko, tapos tingnan natin kung ano magiging results niya, which is the very first few races. I really struggled and got dropped within less than halfway of the race.
Less than halfway. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But I really took that as a motivating factor rather than being discouraged. So I remembered after the first season full of disappointment.
Just to give them an idea, how old are you during this time?
I was 14.
14. And yung mga kasama mo sa team mo, mga ilang taon?
At the same age kasi yung category ko po
Okay,
ang
so they
tawag
have
po
a
nila
junior.
cadet. Yeah. So it's 2004 and 2003.
Mm-hmm. And they have ikaw lang ba yung Filipino o mga iba-ibang lahi?
At that time ako lang po yung Filipino.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us the continue.
Well, so yeah, after yung first season na nahirapan po talaga ako, I remember na after that, I really worked hard during the winter. Pero nung time na po na yon, just so you all know, wala po talaga akong coach noon. It was just really myself. And what I did, I remember during the winter, I rode on average 100 kilometers almost every day, which thinking about it now, it's
100 kilometers every day.
Every day.
Wow.
So either whether it was indoor or outdoors, pero talagang nun, I don't know, I was really addicted to cycling, and I didn't have any coach, so I really did what I wanted and what I felt like doing.
Mm-hmm.
And talagang na-addict po ako sa long rides every day noon. Tapos during the weekends 120 kilometers, and yung after po noon, it really did me some good. It really built me up for the following season. Tapos yun, hanggang sa nag-progress na po ako noon. I remember the following season, I had more podiums and more wins. And nung first podium ko po noon and nung first win ko po noon, dun talaga ako na-addict na winning was really fun. So that motivated me to train more. So,
and on that following year, you still don't have a coach?
No, still no.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was 2019, so no.
So paano mo ini-structure yung training mo? Or are you being guided by your dad because your dad is also an avid cyclist?
Well, I really did it more on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad guided me in the beginning, but after that, he really let me do my own thing, and yun lang. I mean, I would say na very geek ako in terms of numbers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I really did my own research. I remembered I was really watching a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of internet search about training and all of that. So
well,
yeah.
That's good. So tell us about yung ano yung mga unang let's say you're studying, you got all the ideas from YouTube. Tell us, ano yung mga unang, let's say, training or principles about training na nakita mo and you apply and that's how you started na, mas lalong lumawak yung knowledge mo sa ano. Kasi when it comes to studying and researching sa YouTube or internet, hindi mo naman lahat maiintindihan kagad yan eh. Meron ka muna makikita na isa, dalawang principle or training or something like that na you will do it, and then later on, you will learn something for that, and then step by step, malalaman mo na yung ibang mga, kumbaga, mambobroiden na yung knowledge mo. So, ano yung mga una mong mga natutunan?
I mean, looking at it now, I really did not know much then. So all I remember was just knowing a lot of basic things, for example, yung mga sayings na during recovery rides, if it's easy, it really should be easy, and at that time I did not have a power meter. So I really relied on cadence and heart rate and a lot of intervals with cadence, I would say, and heart rate really, because I did not have a power meter, so there's not a lot that you can do with that. So, yung mga basic na sprint training, 15 seconds, tapos rest, tapos during the weekends, dun yung long endurance rides ko, tapos back then, the day before the weekend sa Dubai is normally Thursday. So, Thursday before the big group ride, I would have just a recovery day. Tapos, maybe 2 times a week yung hard intervals ko. So,
2 times a week ang hard intervals mo. And just a question, how many hours or minutes your hard intervals?
It wasn't really structured, I have to be honest. So, I know na you've been to Nadal Shiba, di ba? So for example, I would do, if it's like TT intervals, 1 lap hard, 1 lap easy, and then 1 lap hard again.
Oh, so matagal.
Yeah,
It's a
but
long interval. It's
it
like a
wasn't
tempo
really,
effort
yeah,
threshold something.
yeah, kasi I was really basing it more on my feelings,
Mm-hmm.
on what I felt on the bike. So, and I did not know anything about zones. I wasn't really educated about zones back then. So for me, hard is hard, easy is
Mm-hmm.
easy. So
Mm-hmm.
yun lang talaga yun. Yung, yung nire-relyan ko
Pero
pag
ang galing,
nag-intervals
ano?
ako nun dati.
I believe that you really have the talent, and you are a unique person kasi if you can see yung training mo, well, sometimes kasi if you're so excited, if you are so eager na mag-training and you are not really guided and you're just reading in the internet, sometimes yung interpretation mo, whether it can be right or wrong,
Mhm.
and you are leading yourself to a bad situation.
Mhm.
That's a good thing or bad thing of coaching, 'di ba? Kasi but it's a good
Mhm.
thing dahil sa nalalaman mo yung sarili mali mo at wala kang ibang sisihong kundi ikaw. And then pero ikaw hindi ka ba na burn out during those times? Kasi I'm just worried about, for example, every day 100K, and paano mo minanage yun?
Of I would have to agree with you na there was a lot of moments back then na burn out po talaga ako noon. Kasi if there's one thing na na-learn ko po ngayon from back then is what I thought before was more was better, which is now I truly believe na that's not the case.
Mhm.
And I remember it wasn't only about the 100 kilometers every day. There were I would say na I was pretty crazy on the bike kasi nung wala sa akin talaga nag-guide, which I wouldn't blame anyone kasi
Mhm.
wala din naman talagang nag-guide sa akin, and they were not as educated as well. We
Mhm.
were just the same. So,
Mhm.
even for my dad, he thought that more was better. So that's what I thought as well. And I remember some days on the bike, on the entertainer, I would do 6 hours,
6
5 hours,
hours.
and I was 14 back then.
Ah,
Tapos remember ko nun sa Jebel Jais, every time me and my father goes on the weekends, I would climb it 3 times.
three
And now
times.
looking 3 times, so that would be
So sa
around
mga
five
hindi
hours.
nakakakilala o nakakaalam ng Jabal JS, can you please explain a little bit, a short explanation kung ano ba yung Jabal JS?
So
At kung
Jebel
meron
Jais
kang
is
i-compare sa Pilipinas, pwede mo i-compare sa Pilipinas yon.
so Jebel Jais is one of the well, not one. It is the highest mountain in Dubai.
Mhm.
So it's basically 18 kilometers with an average gradient of 5.3%. Tapos 1,600 more or less yung max elevation niya. So if I would do it 3 times, around 3,200 meters yung elevation. But I don't know in Philippines. I really haven't ridden there much, so I can't compare it. But it's pretty tough.
Wow. And
Tapos,
what's your best time? What's your best time climb sa Jabal Jais?
um, well, my best time is sub 50 minutes, so
Sub
49
50.
something. Yeah, and that was solo. That was not in a race. That was like a test. So
Mhm.
just full gas. So yeah, sub 50 minutes.
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
And yeah, coming back to your question, yeah, that really did burn me out at some point na talagang I hated cycling a bit. Pero yeah, I mean, I really loved it back then, and I was pretty addicted. So I was just doing what I loved.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So now you have a coach.
Yes, now I have a coach, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, coach mo sa team mo or coach mo as a personal coach?
As a personal coach, not in the team.
Okay. And how long you'd been an athlete of your coach?
Well, we started, I think, if I'm correct, around May of 2021. So it's almost going to be 2 years now.
2 years. And yeah, so ano yung nakita mong difference, yung malaking difference ng being an athlete na ikaw lang mag-isa and now meron ka ng coach?
Oh yeah, it's been life-changing in my cycling career because he's really helped guide me through the ups and the downs and what to do and what not to do. Whereas nung mag-isa ko, syempre, fini-figure out ko lang din mag-isa. Tapos nag-experiment din, does this work for me? Does this not? And the hard way as well, kasi malalaman mo through your body. Your body signaling you pag if you've done too much. Whereas, he's now having a coach. He's bestowing me his knowledge. He's sharing his knowledge with me, and I'm learning a lot within the 2 years. Yan, na-learn ko po talaga yung zones, what's FTP, what's this interval, what's this, what's that, and kung ano rin yung tina-target niya and yung use. Not only gawin mo tong intervals, pero para saan ba tong intervals na to and how will it help you? So, yeah, it's been really helpful working with him.
And it's also a very good thing na maintindihan yung purpose, bakit mo kailangan gawin yung program. So in that way, kasi kapag alam mo yung purpose, bakit mo ginagawa yung program, then you can apply that sa race mo. Kasi yun yung application eh. But if you don't have any idea, and then later on, you don't know how to apply, parang, you have the capabilities, but you don't have the knowledge to use it. Because cycling is not just about strength, it's about strategies.
Yeah. That's correct, yeah.
So ngayon, nabanggit mo yung FTP. I'm always curious. At I think sa dumadubay rin sa mga nakakilala, ano yung FTP number mo?
Well, a lot of people...
Nire-ready ko na yung calculator just to know your watts per kg. I know you have a very good number of FTP.
Well, I have to say, I haven't done an FTP for a very, very long time. Probably, I can't remember, maybe almost a year now, if I'm correct.
Kasi, what was your best na sa tingin mo na yun yung naging pick mo so far?
It's quite tricky because yung weight ko nagfa-fluctuate rin throughout the season . So, I would say 280 to 300 because I have hit 300 before, but that was only once. And then, but normally 286 around that mark.
And so let's say 200, sabihin na natin 300. All right. So what's your weight during those average?
I would have to say it's on the lighter side. Pero again, it fluctuates throughout the season. Like normally 54, that would 54. Be average, but my lowest was 48.
Oh man.
My lowest was 48.
48. Okay, so punta na tayo sa ano. So we will go to, if you're 48 to 54, so let's go in the middle. So we will go to somewhere around 50. All right, which is you will be in the middle, which is average. So when you say 300 yung FTP mo and your weight is somewhere around 50, 52. So yung watts per kg mo is somewhere around 6.
Probably a bit lower than 6.
A bit lower.
A bit lower, yeah.
Somewhere
but
around.
That was my best.
Wow, that's big. That's big. So my best FTP is weights per kg is 4.2. And I know the cyclist. Alam ko yung mga cyclists, yung mga big cyclists, top cyclists, somewhere around 6 pataas, 5 pataas, 5.5, something like that. Wow, that's good. That's good. Now, just a question now. Anong klaseng rider ka? Can you how are you going to categorize yourself?
That's another good question. Pero as of now, I feel like too early pa rin for me to tell. So I think I would have to say all-rounder. So there are cyclists na all-rounder.
So meron, so nag-i-evolve ba yan?
It does. Kasi pag nakita mo may mga ibang pro cyclists na, let's say, nag-start as even in another discipline. Yung iba nag-start as a track rider. So sabihin mo ng sprinter. Pero yung iba, nung naging pro, naging Grand Tour rider. For example, si Geraint Thomas, I know that when he started, he was a track rider until he became a Grand Tour rider. And he's quite a heavyweight as well. He's quite a big rider. So, I mean, there were stages na nung nag-start ako, I felt like na sprinter ako kasi depende rin kasi kung saan din po ako nagfo-focus at that time eh. May certain periods nung season na talagang nag-focus ako sa time trialing where like maybe 5 times a week I used my TT bike, which is more days than I've used my road bike. But that was preparing for a specific event. Tapos talagang nag-improve yung time trialing skills ko. And then there were areas there were times na nag-focus talaga ako sa climbing. So I never used the TT bike, talagang road bike lang, and almost every weekend or 2 times a week, lagi ako nagje-Jebel Jais.
Wow.
So that really improved my climbing. But I remembered when I was starting, I was really, really, really bad at climbing. I couldn't even climb Jebel Hafit for like a continuous continuously. I had to stop maybe 5 times. But that's when I started, and I really focused on sprinting at that time. But now I would say all-rounder is probably what fits me.
But right now, if ever, okay, someday, you'll see somewhere yourself, nakikita mo yung sarili mo na meron kang direction, whether it's sprinter, trialist, or all-rounder. Ano yung sa tingin mo yung parang gusto mo?
I would either have to say, it's hard to choose, but I would either have to say time trialist or climbing. Because time trialing really fascinates me. Kasi as I said before, very geek ako in terms of yung power, aerodynamics, CDA, all of that. Pero I think climbing would suit me just because of my physical attributes, like maliit ako, tas magaan. Whereas time trialing, that really is in the favor of bigger riders kasi they can push out more watts. So yeah.
Yeah, nakita ko nga. Alam mo, ikaw yung isa sa may pinakamagandang time trial position. I don't know kung paano mo na-sustain yung, alam mo yun?
Well, that photo that I sent you, a lot of people message me kung paano ko nakuha yung, kung saan ako nagpa-bike fit, and yeah, all of that.
Yeah, so tell us about that. Kung paano mo nakuha yung position na yun. Kasi hindi basta-basta yun. You're very aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I only have one answer for that. It's just probably dedication and hard work. Kasi nung ang dami nagtanong sa akin kasi on that day I also won the TT overall. That was in Dubai in Al Qudra, I remember. So a lot of people asked me.
Just to clarify, so that photo na sinend mo sa akin, you won the individual time trial. And
yes.
This is an open category or junior?
Open category.
So,
yes.
So just to give you the idea, okay, sa mga listeners o nanonood nito. So if you won a race sa Dubai, hindi mga Pilipino ang mga kalaban mo. And we know na when it comes to endurance sports, cycling sports, malayo pa yung Filipino sa mga ibang lahi. Do you agree with that?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. And if you can sink in yung sinabi ni Lance na siya yung nanalo sa time trial, and it is an individual open, ibig sabihin may mga ibang lahi dyan, may mga mas matataas pa, may mga matatanda pa sa kanya, may mga mas veterans pa sa kanya sa cycling, but he won that individual time trial. So that's how good he is. So tell me, ano yung mabalik tayo kasi pasensya ka na. Sa mga hindi nakakakilala, okay, ako kilala kita, nakikita kita. Pero I believe sa Philippines hindi ka masyadong, I don't know, hindi ka masyadong kilala.
I don't know, yeah, probably not.
And most of my viewers dito sa YouTube na to, puro mga kadalasan sa Philippines. And this is one of the reason bakit kita in-invite din kasi you have the potential. I believe you have the potential na mag-represent ng Philippines sa mga races internationally. That's the thing that I look at you kasi you're competing not just against Filipino, not just against Asians. You're competing sa napakadaming ibang lahi. And nagpo-podium ka, nananalo ka, and then why not? Bakit? Sa mga makakapanood nito, no? Sana magkaroon sila ng mas magandang interest sa inyo. Yeah. So tell us, paano mo nakuha yung position na yun? Ano yung proseso na ginawa mo?
Going back to your question. So madaming nagtanong kung paano ko nakuha yung position na yan and kung sino yung nag-bike fit sa akin. Tapos like, nasusurprise sila pag sinasabi ko na I did the fit myself. So di ako pumunta sa bike shops or anything like that. Whereas, probably most of the people who competed in that race na yung mga nag-second and third, I know that, talagang nagpa-fit sila and stuff like that. Pero I wasn't really bothered. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimenting, and a lot of looking at myself in the mirror. So basically,
someone taking a video of you.
Yeah, and which is probably my brother, my mom, or my dad. Tapos naiinis na rin sila paulit-ulit ako nagpapa-picture. It was just trying to be as aero as I possibly can, pero at the same time being comfortable in the position. And I think being on the younger side, mas more flexible ako than other people. Pero at the same time, I really worked hard for that position. So it's not only dahil flexible ako, pero talagang nag-exercise ako and a lot of strength training, core training, and a lot of I would say even yoga na to try and be as flexible as possible. So all that small percentages count at the end of the day. So
yeah. That's good. Now I would like to ask more a little bit about your team right now sa Europe. So kailan ka nag-umpisang mag-ride or mag-ride sa isang team diyan sa Europe? Paano ano yung proseso mo? Bakit kanila nakikita o paano ka napunta sa team mo?
I would say na yung very first time na nag-compete ako sa Europe is 2021. And that was as a junior. In the junior category, I was 16. So, meron kasi akong friend na taga-Ireland. So, he was also kind of my mentor. And also some of, I would say coach as well before I had the real coach. So, he just started mentoring me nung nakita niya rin ako sa social media. So it was through social media and now we're very, very close friends. He reached out to that team. So we had no contact with that team whatsoever. Tapos, pero sinenda niya lang. We just took a shot at it. Tapos talagang minessage niya lang through Instagram and through email as well. And they answered for some reason. And we were lucky enough and fortunate enough na they gave us or they gave me an opportunity. Tapos, we sorted all the logistics out. Tapos yung visa. Tapos, until nag-arrive na ako sa Spain. And that was in the summer of 2021. So, around June.
And this team is not just parang club siya, no? It's just a racing team na meron kang sponsorship, meron kang sweldo na natatanggap.
Yes. Sweldo no. Pero it's a very almost all the teams kasi sa Europe almost at a professional level siya, you can say. So we're not getting any salaries, pero the way they treat us and the way they mentor us and the way the team functions almost like in a professional setting. And I think that's also one of the reason why a lot of the professional riders come from Europe kasi yung culture talaga dun serious talaga sila iba. So at a very young age, they learn how to become a professional kasi ganun na sila tinitreat bata pa lang. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And now, gaano kadalas kayo nagre-race sa team mo?
Probably every weekend, I would say.
Every weekend.
Oh. Yeah, every weekend. If not the latest, then the following weekend. But every weekend, yeah.
And ang range ng team mo is 23 below up to youngest?
No, so etong sa Batco cycling team na very first team ko sa Europe. So from 2021 to 2022, so that was 2 years. So that was as a junior category, but this is my first year racing in the under 23 category. this
Under.
season. So
Mhm.
under 23, that's 19 to 23 years old.
Okay. So junior, then under 23, which is 19 to 20,
23.
23. Okay, right. And right now, just want to know, um, gusto kong pag-usapan natin yung race mo sa Philippines.
Mhm.
So before that, before ka pumunta sa Philippines, you're already racing sa Spain, right?
Yes.
And how did you prepare yourself sa race mo sa Philippines, or talagang since nag-race ka sa Europe, kumbaga kargado ka na, you're already fit and always ready to race?
There was a lot of preparation that came into this event, even with a short notice. Kasi I remember when they released the registration for this race, it was, I think, 3 weeks latest.
3 weeks. Wow.
Which for me, it wasn't a lot of time to prepare. So parang namadali talaga siya. Pero before they released that event, yung for that summer, ang ano ko talaga nun, ang goal ko talaga is yung sa Europe na talaga nun. Kasi that event came before. So for that season, yun talaga yung fino-focusan ko. So I really got fit going into that summer, which went hand in hand kasi yung national championship sa summer din eh. So even though I wasn't really focused on that event, I still came very prepared. Kasi it just went a week before actually going into Europe. So my flight was maybe just a week difference from the Philippines to going to Europe. So the national championships went first. So I wouldn't say na nag-help na kargado ako sa Europe kasi it went first. So I really hadn't raced for months since then. But I had a good block of training for that. And I remember just going into the event nung 3 weeks before, I really targeted yung individual time trial kasi I knew na mas lesser yung factors dun that would change the result. Kasi pag ITT, mag-isa ka lang eh. So it's just really power to power. So kung mas malakas ka sa other riders,
makikita ka agad. It
would
will
be
show right away.
Yeah, and it would be a clear win kung ano. So I really prepared, I really focused on that event rather than the road race. So I remembered just doing a lot of work on the TT bike mostly rather than the road bike. So lahat ng recovery rides ko sa TT bike, lahat ng endurance rides ko, and I did a lot of TT specific intervals as well. And pati I remembered yung diet ko rin noon was very, very strict. So I would say that was the fittest ever that I have been, even now. So that was my fittest ever. So yeah, coming into that race, and it was my first time racing in the Philippines. So I was very, very nervous because I don't know the riders. I don't know the course. I haven't ridden there ever. So yeah, pero I really prepared on my own. Like even though I haven't ridden the course very well, I remembered looking at Strava segments and looking at the location, looking at the gradient of the climb. So yeah, I really prepared in that way or in that sense.
So ngayon, since it was your first time to race in Philippines, so they don't have any idea who you are.
No.
So what happened during the race? Parang paano mo sila nagulat? Paano mo ano yung naging atmosphere before and after the race?
Oh my god, it's just one word, very chaotic. I mean, even just on arrival, tapos nung race, the morning of the race, lagi naman sa Philippines, delayed lahat. So, the start times, even though they gave us the start times the night before, it really was useless because it was late. Tapos, I remember it was very, very hot. Nag-start ako noon mga 1 p.m. ata eh.
1 p.m. na? Okay.
And during that time in the Philippines in the summer, that's very hot and tropical island. So it was very humid. But I would say that also played in my hands kasi even though hindi naman ako taga doon, sa Dubai very hot din yung climate eh. So And I actually did a lot of heat training as well. So a lot of sauna and a lot of heat training. So I really came prepared. Tapos I remember just going to the start line. I was very nervous. And also just to mention the roads were open. So yung side na yung right side and that was a new experience for me because I haven't raced in the Philippines like I said. So
Hindi katulad sa
yung
Alcudra na it's a bike
nasarado
path.
talaga.
Yeah.
Like that TT race that I showed you again, the photo, that was a smooth road and no interference. Pero yung right side lang yung sarado. Pero yung left side, bukas. So the other way around, there were cars going and that was just crazy. And then I would say 5 kilometers before the finish line, there was traffic on the right side as well. So I had to dodge the traffic going left and right. Um, yeah, I mean that was really stressful for my dad being at the back of the car. But yeah, it was, and the course was hard as well because it was the majority of the course was uphill, a slight uphill, maybe 3% gradient to 5% gradient. So for me, being a lightweight, that also came in handy. And yeah, and I just it was crazy. So yeah, it was quite an experience.
So you told me that nung nag-race ka ba sa Philippines, do you have the intention na somehow if I win this, pwede kang mag-represent sa Philippines as an international?
Oh, yes.
That's what's your intention?
Well, that was the goal. I mean, I wouldn't race that race if I wasn't gonna be chosen for the national team. And I was certain, I even told my dad na hindi tayo babalik ng Dubai hanggang manalo ako ng national championship.
Ano ba yung proseso dapat doon? If ever you won that race, kapag kung sino may mananalo, on the path na mag-represent ng Philippines?
Well, it was written in the rule book, in the handbook. So, before coming there, we read the instructions. It was clear na pag nanalo ka ng national championships, that's automatic na nasa national team pool ka na. So,
and you have to wear the diba? Yung Philippine flag sa ano mo? Parang yun ba yun?
Yeah, pero yun yung up to the na yun, yung own team mo na yun. So kung gusto nila i-honor yung national champion win mo, so ilalagay nila sa jersey nung mo. So yeah.
Yeah, so so pero yun ang that's the rules and yun nakalagay sa handbook of instruction or whatever. Pero hindi ka na-select, right?
No, unfortunately not, no.
Okay. Well, I don't want to talk about that, pero just in case, until now, are you still really interested na mag-represent sa Philippines?
After that, so to be honest, not as much. Kasi knowing na mamaya mangyari din yun. So, it's not really worth going back there to race that race again. And lahat ng hardship na pinagdaanan ko tsaka yung father ko. Tapos hindi lang masiselect. So, it was really tough. Pero, it is what it is. So, but it's fine with me. So, yeah.
Well, it's sad to say, no? But I promise you that this is one of the reasons bakit I wanted to talk to you about this. Somehow, this is your way to show your frustration. Kasi nga, if there's a rules like this, bakit hindi ka na-select? I don't know what's the reason or why not. But hopefully, hindi pa naman ito yung huli, okay? And if ever they saw this video, if you ever you got invited, then maybe magbago yung chance mo, yung isip mo. But right now, we don't have much time, Lance. But just tell us, kung meron ka mang isang cyclist na gustong makasama ngayon sa isang ride, sino yon?
Out of all the cyclists, I would have to say Alejandro Valverde. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's been an idol of mine since the very start. So, yun yung ina-aspire ko talaga.
Ano yung character na bakit gusto mo si Alejandro Valverde? Kasi, sa mga hindi nakakakilala sa kanya, no? He's already old,
Yeah.
but he's always at the top. Hindi naman siya laging nasa podium position, but then he's somewhere around top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
Hindi siya nawawala.
Yeah, he's always in the mix. Pero hindi, yung ano lang niya kasi, yung experience niya, tapos yung riding style niya, I would say na it's probably close to what mine is. So he's also quite an all-rounder, but quite good in the uphill finishes as well. Tas hindi lang din yun, pero yung personality niya din off the bike is really good kasi it's not always what you do on the bike, pero you also need to show your character when you're off the bike. So yeah, that's really why.
Well, that's good. Just curious right now. Anong height mo?
167.
167.
So not that tall.
So as a 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
5'6". Ano yung crank arm mo? Ano yung
Crank
length niya?
arm, 170 sa road bike. Pero sa TT bike, I like shorter crank arm. So 165.
165. Bakit parang mas preferred mo mas maikli yung crank arm ng TT bike mo kaysa sa road bike mo?
Well, simply because mas feel ko mas nakaka-push ako ng power sa mas tapos mas efficient siya pag yung kada pedal stroke mo pag mas maliit. So mas go down ako and push more power rather than stretching yung legs mo.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy na nakausap kita. And well, I hope na kung sino man yung makakapanood nito, to those who are going to watch this video at magkaroon kayo ng interest kay Lance, you can always contact him sa kanyang Instagram. I will post the Instagram account in this YouTube channel, in this YouTube channel, and also when I post you sa Facebook page ko. Then yeah, I think the only thing that we can do right now is that mas makilala ka sa Philippines. Malaki yung effect ng social media, and I believe your presence sa social media, yung presence mo sa social media in the Filipino community is not that strong. And siguro kaya pero as I know, kahit sa Dubai kilala ka kilala ka, everyone knows about you, and yung pagkapanalo mo, yung mga achievement mo sa Dubai and even sa Europe nung nag-race ka, you'd been ilang beses ka na rin nanalo. Hindi basta-basta, and you have the talent, and I do believe that, and I hope na mas makilala ka. I hope na mas ma-inspire din sila sa mga kagaya mo, kasi hindi basta-basta yung talent na mapalagpas ng Philippine government kapag hindi ka someday makapaglaro sa Philippines as a national player. All right? So, Lance, maraming salamat. This is the time that I'm going to give you a time na magpasalamat sa mga tao na gusto mong pasalamatan at sa mga sumusuporta sa iyo.
My pleasure. Thank you po for letting me be in your podcast, and nagpapasalamat din po ako sa lahat ng mga tao na sumusuporta po, whether sa Philippines or sa Dubai po, and to all the people na nagtumulong sa akin na makarating dito. So, whether that be my family, yung coach ko, or just my mentors. There were a lot of people who really guided me as well throughout my journey till now and helped me along the way. So, yeah, thank you po.
Thank you. Just a question. One more question. Curious lang ako. What's your diet? Because as a cyclist, you should always have a strict weights para at least ma-maintain mo yung watts per kg mo.
Just to start off na yung diet, it's it's very personalized. Just want to say that out there. So, you may copy what you see sa internet, pero it's really quite hard and it takes a lot of trial and error kasi someone's diet might not work for others, and it took me a lot of trial and error as well. Pero there were moments in my cycling career na nagwe-weight talaga ako ng food ko, as into the grams, even yung oil, lahat.
Really?
Pero yes, as in, and it got really strict. So there were moments of that, but there were also moments na nag-relax din ako and try to just have a balanced diet, lean protein, tapos a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, tapos just changing or modifying yung carbs depending on sa kung anong training mo. So if you have a harder training the next day, you should carb load and make your intake higher. Tapos pag recovery rides, then you can bring it down lower. So you can really play with it. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very
Thank you.
interesting, short but very informative and very strategic way to manage diet. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So Lance, maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Thank you. And I hope that this is not the last time na magkakausap tayo. You're always welcome in this podcast. And yeah, thank you. And ingat dyan
Thank you.
palagi.
Thank you po. Kayo din po.
All right.